Well, it's my anniversary. My gorgeous bride and I have been married for 31 years as of today. Amazing, huh? Amazing that she's endured me for that long. Time flies so fast. We're still just kids. At least that's how I feel. I've learned some things over the course of those 31 years, though. I think I'll share a few here today. I'm guessing you'll figure out how these marriage lessons can be applied to other areas. First of all, being with someone for that long can sometimes be hard, but I think being without would be even harder. You learn very directly about sacrifice. There's a bunch of personal wants that definitely need to take a back seat if you want the relationship to endure. Some people say it's about compromise and balance, but I'm not so sure that's the case for me. That philosophy typically involves some sort of 50-50 split or a version of that. I found that I have to give 110% all the time, and she has to do the same. The math doesn't really work out, but I've found in a successful marriage, the common rules of mathematics go right out the window. Restraint is critical in emotionally charged discussions. Your immediate response is often not the right response because it generally involves a whole bunch of energy and chaotic emotion. Letting the situation diffuse just a little, holding back those initial strong responses, typically opens the door for better communication a while later. But don't wait too long. Before we got married, my grandpa and grandma gave us some advice. Never let the sun set on an argument. Wise words from a couple that was married for over 75 years. Doing stuff together is nice. If it's not, maybe you shouldn't be together. When you're first together, it's easy to make time for together stuff. But as the years go by, it's harder to do. More external things demand your attention. Ignore those things more than you ignore your spouse. They matter. The externals don't. Remember that. Make time to do stuff together. On the flip side, be okay with doing differing hobbies separately. That time is necessary too. Be okay with being apart every once in a while. You know, the whole absence makes the heart grow fonder deal. But in moderation, like with most things in life. Do way more than the other person with around-the-house chores. If you are both approaching it like that, things seem to even out somehow. We each naturally gravitate toward tasks that align with our individual talents, but I wouldn't recommend locking yourself into only doing the things that are quote-unquote yours. That tends to be a recipe for disaster. Money doesn't matter. I mean, it does, of course, but it can't be the main relationship focus. As we've advanced in our jobs and life, etc., we've come to earn more, but that means we just spend more. We are content now. We were content when we had nothing. Money will come and go. I think it's a perspective thing. Keep your perspective on maintaining the relationship. Sometimes that means throwing personal caution to the wind and being okay with the other person spending to their heart's content. Other times, it means sitting down together and having those tough conversations about how to spend. But in the end, I don't think we'll reflect back on what we did or didn't buy over the years. I think that all just fades out of memory. What will be remembered is the feeling of navigating the financial road and all other roads together. By the way, are you picking up a theme here? A yin and yang thing? There always seems to be a lot of this with a little of that, sprinkled with a little of this and a lot of that, with regards to what is your quote-unquote responsibility or not in an enduring marriage. If you ever fall into the trap of, it's always like this, or it must absolutely always be that, I think you're heading towards wrong. Soak up the moments, cherish them, revel in them, reflect on them. Of course, that means all the big-time family events, all the things with the kiddos and birthdays and holidays and trips and job things. But don't blow past the really little things. Spend some time reflecting on them too. Maybe more time than the big ones, like an evening walk to nowhere, just the two of you, with no words spoken. Driving down the highway while your spouse sleeps in the passenger seat. Silly and sometimes inappropriate text in the middle of the day on a Thursday. Saying I love you for the 850,000th time. Every one of those matter, by the way. Eating dinner together on TV trays, watching nonsense on TV. Going to the store on a Saturday morning to buy things that you don't need. Even those times you'll miss one day. Hold on to all of those times dearly. Listen. Don't talk. More times than not, don't comment back. Don't solve. Don't fix. Don't recommend. Don't advise. Just listen when the other person needs to be listened to. In fact, that's good advice for a lot of circumstances in life. Talk less. Smile, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. Your spouse may just need to see that smile more than you desperately want to keep it hidden away. And in the end, it'll make you feel a little better too, even if it was initially a forced smile. Trust me on this, it works. I have about 400 more of these enduring relationship essentials, but they all whittle down to one simple concept. Give way more than you take in the relationship, and it'll all work out fine. Interestingly, all of the lessons I listed could be applied to most things in life. I truly believe I was only successful as a military leader because I applied the same approach to leading my troops as I did in committing my focus to my wife at home. The two areas of life guidance might seem contradictory, military life and family focus, but like in the movie We Were Soldiers, Hal Moore said, "I hope that being good at one makes me better at the other." And I think that has been the case for me. Let me recap the good marriage points real quick for you and see if you can decipher how those could be applied to military leadership or leading in any capacity. Everyone gives 110%. Practice restraint. Handle disagreements promptly. Spend time together and apart. Go on leave once in a while. Do more than the rest of the team. Be willing to do the things that aren't your job. Don't let money or resources become a divider. Make the big events and the small ones matter. Tell your people how great they are. Listen more than you talk. Smile. Your people need to see positive even when everything around is falling apart. And give more than you take. See what I mean? Good at one can absolutely make you better at the other if you approach it with the right intention. So here's to the next 31 years with my beautiful bride. The words from our wedding song ring as true today as the day we got married. Everything I do it for you.